history, as we are here tonight. All this becomes a historical event, and it's really a neat thing to be part of all of that. And it gets exciting when you get back there in the future. It's living things from the past. At this time, I'd like to, we're lucky enough to have Chief Shelley Zimmerman with us tonight. And
you gotta forgive him, he's old. He's been retired a long time.
Yeah, see, I don't remember hardly anybody anymore. I'm getting old.
You know, and it's kind of funny, we were just talking back in the room over there, we were talking about when I worked undercover, you know, at 21 Jump Street, and that's why you didn't see me, because I was working undercover. Some people say it's my best undercover assignment as the assistant police chief. So.
But Chief, you still look the same age. So.
Oh, very good, yes, but I don't want to flunk any more classes, you know, so you're back to high school.
Thanks for being here.
You don't have to thank me. On behalf of Chief Lansson, I know Chief Vasquez is actually en route. We're stuck in a little bit of traffic. I'm honored to be here, you know, as we celebrate Black History Month. But why don't we just say Black History Month? Okay? As we look, it's every single day. All right, every single day is Black History here. When you look, I mean, here's a picture right here. Back 1921. Okay, this is. Tell me if I'm wrong. You're the historian. If the first black sergeant that actually was supervising white officers. Am I correct?
John Cloud.
John Cloud.
And that's his hat right there.
Wow.
That's his picture.
Wow. This is what is so fantastic, and I got to thank you for the Historical Association here, San Diego Police Department. Is just fantastic. Wouldn't any of us, maybe some of us would know this history, but it's, you know, we come here and we learn something new every single day that we do come here. And I got to tell you, as a proud member of our department for 31 years, Michael Cash. And the reason why I pause and say Michael Cash and I went through. We're both proud members of the 13th Regional Academy, right?
Hey, 13th.
Okay. Let's see if you remember. What was our motto?
We can't say in public.
Okay, very good. I don't know what motto he had, but the one that I had.
I'm sorry. That one, yeah.
And I guess why I bring it up, because the motto was, for our academy, very similar to actually the Navy SEALs, was the only easy day was yesterday, and boy, with what's going on in our department right now, isn't that true? but today, you know, let's talk about why we're here, what we're celebrating. We are celebrating Black History Month, but I mean from the bottom of my heart that it just shouldn't be 1 month that we think about Black history. It just shouldn't be 1 month that we think about, you know, the first women that became on the police department, the first, you know, Asian that came on, the first whoever that came out of the department. We are one police department, and I'm proud to say that back in the 1920s that we were a diverse department back then. We're a diverse department today. I gave an interview, you know, a couple weeks ago to the Voice of San Diego, and they were talking about, you know, with the racial profiling, they were talking about the demographics of our department. And we talked about, if you take a look at the census and you take a look at the number of black officers that are on the department, that were, as the reporter said, that you're pretty much in line, actually exactly in line to what the census is, and so do you feel good about that? And I was actually stunned when the reporter asked me that, and I said, wait a minute, why are you holding anyone back? If the census is about 6%, why do you say we only have to have 6% of the department? Why can't we have 20%? Why can't we have 50%? You know, why can't we have whatever the percent is for either women, for African American, for Asian, or for whatever? Why are you holding anyone back and saying we have to hit a certain number? It's not about hitting a certain number. It's about this rich tradition of the San Diego Police Department that started back, not Muslim. Can you imagine the decisions that had to be made back in the 1920s to have the chief, the mayor, city council, whoever, to be able to say that in the 1920s? God, what a great city we live in. What a wonderful police department that we're all proud members of. And I got to tell you, there isn't a day here that I take for granted and what this department means to me, what this uniform means to me, what this patch and this badge means to me. Because as a female, as a woman officer on this department, the opportunities have been endless for me. And I'm just so very grateful. And again, Mike, I call you out. How many, you know, not too many of us that are left after 31 years on the department you know, that are still here, probably serving whatever uniform that we have. And every single day we're a team. Every single day we go out there with one goal in mind. Not if you're male, not if you're female, not if you're black, not if you're white, not if you're 6'5" or 4'11". The goal is to do the very best job that we can to go out there and serve our citizens. And that's why we became police officers. And I'm proud to say, after 31 years, that I look forward to coming to work every single day. And again, thank you, Ben, for inviting me. Thank you for everything that you do, your entire organization, to bring this rich history from the 1920s all the way here to what we celebrate today, 2014. And we are, every single day, we're going to continue to move forward. And I just want to thank you, as again, on behalf of Chief Lansdowne and the entire police department, thank you for what all of us do every single day, because we are one department, one team, but we never forget where we come from. So thank you.
Would you do the honor of giving us a few marks of wisdom?
As much as I can. I may not have as much as you.
No, I doubt that.
First of all, I'm honored to see so many people here, and really, from the bottom of my heart, to see that we care as people and as citizens of San Diego, and more importantly, as friends and co-workers and collaborators that work together. We care about this rich history that this department has. Every time I come here, you know, kind of like what Chief Zimmerman said, I learn something new. And when I sit down and I talk to the directors here and the commissioners, the guys who are actually the experts, the historians, I learned something that I just never knew. You know, the pictures that we're going to see tonight, we went through each one of them. We tried to reach out and find family members, if we could, of some of these individuals. Where are they now? Where are their family? What's going on? And it was a history lesson in itself. And I'm proud that we are able to display something like that here on this department, because a lot of people just didn't know we had this type of history, and we do. It's very rich, and it's very encouraging. And like I said, I can't wait to unveil it for you all. So thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here.
Awesome.
That's all. It's a very tough act to follow here. But actually the good news is, that piggyback off of what Chief Zimmerman said, it gets even better. I'm going to take you back to the year 1850. 13 years before, well, 11 years before the Civil War, 13 years before the Emancipation Proclamation, when Abraham Lincoln actually stood up and declared, yeah, men probably are all equally created, and they all are entitled to rights. That was a very dramatic statement, and it divided a nation over it. The reason I take you back to 1850 is we used to have a lawman here in town. His name was Richard Freeman, probably pronounced Freeman. He was a former slave. He was the first black law enforcement officer, probably in the United States, certainly west of the Mississippi River. So that's quite an accomplishment. Unfortunately, he was also killed in the line of duty in 1851, 1 year later, in a war between the Indians of Mission Valley and the city of San Diego over a tax dispute. So long, strange history there. But you go forward into the 1900s. Frank McCarter was a special police officer in 1908. Reginald Townsend in 1915. For those of you who've ever heard of the Stingaree, which is now the Gaslamp District, it used to be the Barbary Coast of the West Coast. It was so bad at one time, in 1888, the New York Times said, I would rather risk getting frostbite in New York than getting a bullet in the chest in the Stingaree of San Diego. It was that bad. One man cleaned it up. His name was Reginald Townsend. He was San Diego PD's first black detective, and his picture's on the wall over there. And the way he did it was not through law enforcement, because a lot of the city council owned a lot of the brothels and the opium dens downtown. So what he did is he said, I'm going to enforce state laws for health code violations. And he actually closed it down. So prior to pop projects, prior to community policing, Reggie Townsend was getting very innovative, and he was fighting crime in a very innovative way. And you know, like 1921, think about what the world was like in 1921. If an African American went into the military, it's not like today. That person would be a cook or a steward. Here they could be a police sergeant, supervising white officers. In 1935, we had a man named Bert Ritchie who came onto the police department, and through kind of a fluke, where he was, they didn't like how he was interacting with whites downtown, they put him in charge of the lab, Only problem was there was no lab. I guess they just figured he would just give up and go away. Instead, Reggie went out and he secured, Bert went out and secured some microscopes, and he started reading everything he could about fingerprinting and forensic science. And he actually is the founder of the San Diego Police Department's crime lab. Again, a remarkable achievement. He's using forensic science, what, 75 years before this TV show CSI? Again, remarkable. Think about what African Americans were facing if they wanted to play Major League Baseball prior to 1947, prior to Jackie Robinson. We had black detective sergeants. We had black detectives. We had black supervisors. And guess what? It wasn't a big deal. That should show you how we really are. Where it says in the door, America's finest, that's not a catchphrase, that's a tradition. So what we wanted to do when we approached the BPOA about this is that said, we need to highlight these people. We need to bring this to the front. We need to be proud of who we are and what we represent. So what you see tonight is not a temporary exhibit. It will be here forever. We got the pictures, we put together the board, we have mannequins, and you'll see it all when we get in there. But please, recognize what it all means, because the world we live in now was not the world of 1850. It was not the world of 1909. It wasn't the world of 1925. It was much, much different. Everybody who went out in those days had the deck stacked against them. Truthfully, if you were not a white male, you had to work 5 times as hard for about the same amount of respect. So I hear people today say, why does the BPOA exist? That's why. To highlight the history and to keep encouraging, keep going, keep going. I just wrote an article in The Informant called Cops Come in One Color, Blue. I firmly believe that. We are all one family. Doesn't matter what we look like, it matters what we wear, what we do. So thank you very much for coming. We'll open the door.
Walt Vasquez just joined us here. I think he's in that hide back there in the shadow. I caught him though. I saw him.
He wasn't.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna head adjourn to the back room back here if we go.
Hey, Ray.
Walt, did you?
I just gotta say one thing. He doesn't want to be put on the spot. Doesn't want to say anything.
So
but I
you're
can
gonna
tell you, this is one of our best assistant chiefs here, and Chief Zimmerman comes to work every day with the enthusiasm of a new recruit, and I know you know that. She's bouncing off the walls when she gets to work all day long. So we're happy they're here.
Well, and see this young man here with the glasses. He's just going through the process. You may see him in a police uniform here one of these days. He came to visit us at the museum today. And welcome back.
Well done.
All right, guys, get back here.
All right.